entrepreneurship kind of goes hand in hand.
Share and subscribe too. Share and subscribe.
You can be an entrepreneur and still have a full-time job. A lot of times people think that it's one or the other, but we live in an economy right now where really no job is really 100% secure.
Like, hate,
so
comment.
if you're trying to have more money at the end of the month, then you should definitely look to cut back on things, but you should also look to increase your income at the same time.
Share and subscribe.
And, there's a couple different ways how you can do that, but being an entrepreneur is something that I think is vitally important in today's society.
Do you think, this was a conversation I was having with my producer before the show, does every person, or at least every household, need a side hustle?
Yeah, I think it's important, right? We always live by this mantra that one income is too close to none. And so, like you said, no job is safe in this economy, especially with artificial intelligence, and that's not going anywhere. It's going to replace a lot of jobs and a lot of jobs that people in our community are used to or accustomed having. So we got to figure out ways not to call them side hustles, but have side interests and side skills. So investing could be one of them, trying to create a new business could be one of them, or finding investment partners to create something new with. It's vitally important, right? Like if we're looking at the future, working together is something that we have to look as an action plan to the future of our generation.
Yeah. So we talked a bit about the people who are just trying to live paycheck to paycheck or get beyond paycheck to paycheck. And now the people who are financially stable, but they look at their top line gross income or salary and they think that number should buy me a better life than I have, a better lifestyle than I have. What is the auditing process to determine how to get more out of what you already have?
The only way is that you have to beat inflation at a multiple at least 3 times more than what inflation is. So investing is the only way to do that. And if you feel that you're not living the way that you should live based off of the money that you're making, that's because the money that you're making is not what you think it really is. So, growing up, we always thought that $100,000 was the benchmark. That's what we come from, working class environments. And when we made $100,000 living in New York, we realized that that didn't really go too far. So that's why we really encourage investing, because if you invest, then you may not necessarily gain the benefits of that right away, unless you're day trading or something like that. But over the course of time, your money is going to grow faster than inflation. So you'll be able to actually enjoy it at a certain point in time, as opposed to living in a situation where you're constantly making more money, but the prices of things constantly go up as well. So that's why it's vitally important to always put money into the market, put money into investments, but also increase your income over the course of time as well. Yeah. Being an entrepreneur is not something that we just encourage because we want the freedom and the luxuries, but it also allows you to kind of gauge your income up, as opposed to a job which usually stays the same over the course of time.
Yeah. There are some people who have to have some tough conversations when they look at, how do I put this? There are some of us who are the beneficiaries of maybe a family investment to get where we are, to get us into college, through college, and we now have pretty high paying jobs, but have maybe a hybrid of responsibility and obligation to take care of the whole family. How do we have some of those conversations if we want to do right by the people who did right by us, but the challenge of building wealth and growing financially is impeded? How do you approach those conversations?
I mean, they're conversations that we need to have. A lot of times money, and especially the future of money, is not discussed at our dinner tables. And so having a strategic plan and being educated around it, right? Whether it looks like how we're preparing for our state, how we're preparing for our wills, but also how we're preparing for the next generation. We always hear the term generational wealth, but more importantly to us is sustainable wealth. What lessons are we passing down so that these conversations, when they come about, like there's an untimely death or if there's an illness in the family, we've already prepared for that. And so I think the education around it, which is something we allude to in the book as well, is very important because it gives us the actual steps that we need to take in the event that these things happen.
Rashad, Bilal, Troy Millings, Earn Your Leisure. Thank you both for being with me. Their new book, You Deserve to Be Rich, Master the Inner Game of Wealth and Claim Your Future, is out January 14th. So diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are under threat as we head